I really debated making a video on this or not because the Mario Kart World Direct genuinely had so little to talk about, but also like a little bit to talk about at the same time. So I'm gonna do my best to cover everything that I saw in there and just kind of give you some insight on what I think about it. And first, let's talk about the characters and the overwhelming selection screen. I don't know if you guys have seen screenshots of it or if you guys saw it in the direct, but there are so many characters, bro. And it seems like they're actually treating characters it seems like they are treating like alternate costumes as their own separate characters, which I'm kind of wondering if they have different stats almost. But again, it's such a freaking mess. The entire menu is a mess. To put it lightly, if you look at any screenshot, it just looks like it's going to be a pain to actually, scroll through and whatnot. And what makes me confused is why they didn't just do like a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or even a Smash Brothers type menu where they just have everything on one screen. So you don't have, there's no pages, there's no nothing. And even if there were pages, you could just like kind of select which character you want. But it just seems like a mess. I'm hoping there's like a favorite section, so like if you want to highlight a costume for, let's say, Luigi or something like that, then you could, and it just goes to the front. Like, who even knows? But it just looks like a mess, and that's just one thing that I noticed. They didn't announce any new characters, so yeah, no Diddy Kong, no Funky Kong, no any new characters, bro. There's just kind of all, hopefully there's just unlockables that we just don't know about. But yeah, major letdown in that. I was kind of hoping for at least a few new characters that we would be able to see here, but I digress. The tracks, that was an overwhelming positive. I was blown away by, first of all, the remix of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe theme that opened the presentation. That was a really nice touch. Like a really cool touch that Nintendo really didn't need to do, but they did anyway, and it's just so, it's honestly really neat what they did there. I'm looking forward to Toad Factory as well. Of course, I made that short however many years ago talking about, oh, I wish it came to the Booster Course Pass. Now it's finally coming to Mario Kart World, which I'm really hyped about. I saw some gameplay of it from one of the hands-on events, which was so dope. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to get back there. But everything just looks nice and connected, and I'm really satisfied with how the track selection is. We didn't hear anything about DLC, but I genuinely think the internet would have blown up negatively if Nintendo had announced paid DLC, which, I wouldn't put it past them. Nintendo very much likes money, and they are getting a little bit more greedy than I would have hoped. But we move. One of the only, I guess really the only surprise that we had in this direct that made it worthwhile was hearing that Rainbow Road would become unlockable after you beat all of the Grand Prix. So basically getting first in every single one. No idea if you have to get first place in every CC in order to unlock it, but basically they announced that Rainbow Road would become an unlockable track, which is very cool. Very cool. Hopefully that opens up a whole new like world there. I don't understand what it would mean if Rainbow Road was its own singular track. I'm assuming there's maybe a Grand Prix of Rainbow Roads all in one. That would be really dope as well, if we could have something like that. But to me, it just doesn't make sense to have just a Rainbow Road on its own, because you can't, bro, every single cup has 4 tracks in it. You can't just have one thing with one track. So there's got to be something more to it, because they were very vague about it, but they did very much, it's very much Rainbow Road. It's no surprise, because you can't have Mario Kart without Rainbow Road. It's not specified if it's a remake or I'm gonna guess it's a brand new one, to be completely honest with you, because if it's not a new one, then I don't know why they hyped it up like that. It's gonna be disappointing if it's not a new one. So yeah, very satisfied with that announcement. Probably the only like surprise that we had throughout the entire like direct, which was just hearing, hey, Rainbow Road's coming back. We knew it was coming back, but at what capacity? And I mean, it's coming. It's coming. You got to beat all of the Rainbow. You got to beat all of the Grand Prix, which to me is kind of dope. We got to talk about Knockout Tour. This is also a new mode that I haven't really given too much thought, but is looking to be really dope, which basically has you trying to compete for the specific places. So you got to get, like, for example, you got to get like 8th in order to continue racing, and if you don't, then that's the end of your Grand Prix. It's a really cool concept, and I saw like other YouTubers like Nathaniel Bandy, who actually played the Knockout Tour, saying that it's a really cool mode. And this is also a mode that is going to be online, which is really dope. I'm really looking forward to playing Knockout Tour online. And we will talk about online in a little bit, but we got to talk about the free roam mode. That is also looking pretty dope. They also announced that we were getting like missions. We were getting mission mode in there. So basically around the world, you're just gonna have little missions to do. There's no like menu or anything that'll like give you like directions or whatnot. You kind of have to figure it out on your own, which is really neat. I'm actually really happy about being able to do stuff like that and having some sort of just alternate mode other than racing and battle mode. And yeah, we gotta talk about the battle mode, bro. They only did coin runners and balloon, bro. They only did those two, and we were really hoping that they would just bring all of the other Mario Kart, the frickin' battle mode from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, just ported over, maybe with another mode or two. But no, they just did coin battle and frickin' balloon battle. That's really it. It really sucked because Renegade Roundup was my favorite, to be honest with you. And to see it not show up is kind of sucks, kind of stings, but I guess it is what it is. What's really cool about it though is that the battle tracks look really neat. I think there was one that was like a big freaking donut. It reminded me of like one from Mario Kart Wii. But my favorite part is the fact that you can have 4 different teams. That is really cool, bro. That is really cool. 4 teams of 6. And we have never had anything like that. So that could be really cool. Because I think 2 teams of 12 is just going to be hectic as hell. Like, I honestly wonder how battle mode is going to fare. But I think it turned out very well. Honestly, I'm very satisfied with how battle mode turned out. Just wish that Renegade Roundup was in there. Or to at least some extent. I guess it wouldn't have worked with the 4 teams. But even then, man, it would have been pretty dope to see 24-player Renegade Roundup, because I mean the original is as chaotic. It's very chaotic, but at the same time it's fun, bro. It's fun, and just doubling the players could even add that extra bit of chaos, which Mario Kart seems to champion in its just reputation. So missed opportunity, but it is what it is. The items. We have a Kamek item, which I mean I'm still kind of confused about. It's just there's so many new items, bro, and they're bringing back the Mega Mushroom. They're bringing back, oh, frick, what was it? They're not bringing back the Thundercloud, which thank God. They're doing this, the food one, which apparently you can use to unlock different costumes. We're gonna have to learn how these costumes are unlocked, because I'm honestly feeling like, I'm getting like Switch Sports vibes, where there's gonna be like some freaking battle pass or something that you have to do like specific tasks online or in the free roam or whatever. It's just, I don't know. It just seems like it's going to take an arm and a leg to unlock everything, but it seems like the costumes are the new unlockables. I think all of the characters seem to be unlocked from the start. We haven't seen characters like Pink, Gold, Peach, or even Metal or Gold Mario, which I think is a positive because people do not like those ones. I have not seen people play any of those characters in a very long time on even Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so it's kind of nice that we have, that we're just kind of moving on from those. Maybe they're in the game, who knows. Again, characters very, very, all over the place. But the last thing that I wanted to kind of touch on was the online mode, which I am very excited for. Nintendo showed that the free roam mode will be the lobby for when you are in friend lobbies. We didn't get any, we didn't get a word on if you're going to be able to play races under 24 players, if there's an option to turn off the CPUs, which I would be kind of shocked if there wasn't, to be honest with you. It wouldn't make sense for Nintendo to have this online mode that's so expansive and whatnot to just have no switch to turn off it, or turn off the CPUs. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping Nintendo has the item slider as well, so you can like turn on like custom items and whatnot, because it was such a quality of life feature that if it goes away, it would just be, it'd be ridiculous, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, it'd be kind of ridiculous. But the VR, the virtual ranking seems to, I mean, what I saw in the screenshot was it started at 3,000 VR, which is very high for Mario Kart to start off with. I mean, Mario Kart Wii started off with 5,000, and we'll see if there's a cap on the VR. Maybe it starts at 1,000 and they were just doing that as like a placeholder. But to me, I'm pretty satisfied. I'm pretty satisfied with what they showed with the online mode. And I guess the last thing that I really want to touch on is the overwhelming like negative feedback that this Direct and just the game in general has faced. I don't know why it's taking so long for a freaking track to be picked, but I guess the last thing that, again, I wanted to touch on was just the overwhelming negativity towards Mario Kart World, specifically due to its price. And I knew coming in that this Direct probably wasn't going to change anyone's minds on you know, the whole pricing thing, because again, $80, it's going to be $110 here in Canada. It is very steep, and Nintendo did not really make any attempt to kind of remedy some of those fears that people had of this game just being overpriced. If it was even $10 cheaper, it feels like it would have been a lot better. It would have been received a lot better. And especially with a new console launch and whatnot, it seems like this game is the only thing standing in the way of the Switch 2 just being, you know, just having a normal launch. Outside of, you know, all the tariffs and whatnot. Oh, we almost made it a video without talking about tariffs. Anyways, it just, I don't know, man. I mean, I made a video about it being due to inflation and whatnot, but even now, like, it's just exchange rates and whatnot, it just doesn't seem like anybody is letting it go, which makes sense. I'm not going to tell you guys to let it go. It's an $80 game. We went from spending, $80 here in Canada, $60 in the US, to just jumping to a freaking $80 or $20 increase in price. I can't blame people for being like all up in arms, because wages are not going up, but prices are. I don't know. It's a $1 billion company. I'm pretty sure Nintendo could probably take a hit. You know what I mean? They could probably take the hit to make things a little bit more affordable for the average consumer, especially considering the whole freaking inflation argument doesn't make any sense once you throw Bonanza's price in there. $70, which is completely fair. That is I don't think people would complain nearly as much, but a $20 increase? For what reason? Like, it's like all of the videos now for the Direct are covering, like, is it worth $80? Is it worth this? And to be honest with you, I don't see, I honestly don't see it. I really don't. I don't see, I mean, I'm gonna buy it, of course. I mean, I'm comfortable with said price. But did this Direct do anything to alleviate those fears? No, not one little bit. Like, it just it was like an overview trailer. It really didn't feel like a Direct at all. It felt like a big overview trailer of like a mix, like 90% things that we knew with 10% like new stuff that was really mundane. Like, hearing about Rainbow Road was the biggest surprise. And even then, bro, it really wasn't that crazy, because you can't have a Mario Kart game without Rainbow Road. And it left me disappointed. If you go and look at my live reaction, I was just left disappointed, bro. In fact, this video is almost as long as the Direct presentation itself. That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous in my opinion. And, you know, I could forgive the length if it wasn't, you know, if it was actually jam-packed with new information. It was just an overview trailer, bro. That's really it. I gotta be real. It's just a freaking overview trailer. But, that's my thoughts. If you guys have any thoughts on the Mario Kart World Direct, make sure you leave a comment in the comments below. And, yeah, make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out, everybody.